There's a 12-year-old Ford parked outside a logistics company in Ohio. One of the doors doesn't quite match the paint anymore. It belongs to a man whose brokerage account just crossed $185,000. 3 spots down sits a truck that still smells brand new. Polished chrome, not a scratch on it. It belongs to a driver with $4,200 total to his name. Nobody walking through that lot could tell you which car belongs to which man. That's the whole secret, hiding in plain sight, in a parking lot nobody bothers to look at twice. 12 years earlier, both men started at the same company on the exact same day for the exact same salary. $54,000 a year. Same cubicle row. Same badge photo 10 minutes apart. Same 3% 401k match. If you'd polled that office and asked who'd end up rich, almost everyone would have pointed at the guy with the better watch. They would have been wrong. Not by a little. This is Daniel and Ryan. 2 names, 2 identical starting lines, and 1 decision, repeated every single month for 12 years. A decision that quietly moved close to $200,000 from one man's spending into the other man's future. By the end of this, you won't look at a parking lot the same way again. Month 3 on the job, Ryan does the math nobody warns you about. $54,000 sounds like a lot, until it's split across 26 paychecks, taxed, insured, and cut down to something much smaller. He drives to a dealership that weekend anyway. He leaves with a brand new truck, financed, not leased, $43,900 borrowed over 72 months, a payment of $770 landing on the 3rd of every month for the next 6 years. In 2026, that's not even unusual. The average new car payment in America just hit an all-time high, and it landed on that exact number. Ryan doesn't know that statistic. He just knows the truck feels like proof. Proof he made it out of his college apartment. Proof the promotion was real. Proof that people notice him now, in a parking lot where nobody used to. Daniel buys a car that same week too, a 3-year-old Corolla. Cash, $13,400. No payment. No proof of anything to anybody. He feels a little embarrassed pulling in behind Ryan's truck that Monday. That feeling is about to reverse itself completely. Just not for a very long time. Here's the part almost nobody in that parking lot could have predicted. Daniel sets up one thing that week, then basically forgets about it. An automatic transfer. $770 a month, the exact figure Ryan is sending to a bank for his truck, moving quietly into an index fund before Daniel's paycheck even fully lands in his account. There's no ceremony to it. Nobody throws a party for an automatic transfer. For the first 2 years, Daniel's balance barely seems to move. The market does what markets do. Up one quarter, down the next. And this is where the numbers start doing something neither of them can see yet. Here's a statistic that breaks most people's mental picture of what wealthy actually looks like. Researchers who spent over 2 decades studying real millionaires, not people who look rich, but people who verifiably are, found something almost nobody guesses correctly. Fewer than 1 in 4 drive a car from the current model year. Most never spend more than about $20,000 buying one. At any income level. Ever. The stereotype says wealth looks like a showroom. The research says it usually looks like a 12-year-old sedan, owned by someone who already did the math on what a new one costs over a decade. Daniel has never read this research. He's just doing, completely by accident, exactly what it describes. But invisible progress doesn't stay invisible forever. The next test is the one that quietly breaks most people who try this. Year 4. The market drops hard and fast. The kind of correction that makes financial anchors reach for words like bloodbath. Daniel's account, which had quietly grown to $41,000, sheds almost $9,000 in just 6 weeks. This is the moment that actually separates people who build wealth from people who almost do. Loss aversion is a measured, documented phenomenon. The brain registers a financial loss roughly twice as intensely as it registers an equivalent gain. Every instinct Daniel has says, stop, pull it out and protect what's left. He doesn't open the app for 3 days. When he finally does, his hands go a little cold. A percentage on a screen feels more final than a dollar figure, even though it's the exact same money. But the automatic transfer keeps running. $770. Same day, same amount, quietly buying shares at a discount nobody planned for. 8 months later, the account isn't back to $41,000. It's at $52,000. While Daniel is accidentally buying the dip, Ryan's story is heading somewhere else entirely. By year 7, Ryan's truck is starting to feel old to him, which is a strange thing to feel about something he's still paying off. He trades it in. The dealership mentions, almost as an afterthought, that he's underwater on the loan by about $6,800. He owes more than the vehicle is actually worth. This isn't rare. Nationally, close to a third of trade-ins now carry negative equity, averaging roughly $7,000 upside down. Ryan rolls the difference into a new loan without realizing what it truly costs him. He rolls it into a new loan, the way most people in his position do, because the alternative is walking away with nothing and a hole where a car used to be. New payment, $932 a month. Total auto debt in the country has now passed $1.6 trillion, more than every student loan in America combined. Daniel gets a raise that year too, $9,000 more. He doesn't upgrade anything. He bumps the automatic transfer instead. And the Corolla, 9 years old now, gets a new set of tires and nothing else. That winter, his partner Claire is in the car when the mechanic calls about a transmission repair. $2,400. She watches him say, "Sure, go ahead," without checking a single account first. "You didn't even flinch," she says. He tells her that 3 years ago, $400 would have made him flinch. $2,400 barely registers now. She's quiet for a second, then asks the question that will matter more than either of them realizes yet. So why are we still driving this car? He doesn't have a clean answer for her that night. He will, eventually. It just isn't the one she's expecting. Neither man mentions any of this to the other. There's no falling out, no dramatic scene. The gap just keeps widening, quietly, the way gaps like this usually do. Year 12. A company reunion, back in the same parking lot where all of this started. Ryan pulls in with the newer truck, the one financed at $932 a month, paint still showroom clean. Daniel pulls in behind him in the Corolla, check engine light on for so long he stopped seeing it. Someone half jokes about the car in the lot. Daniel just says it still runs. Nobody at that reunion asks Daniel about his brokerage account, because nobody knows there's anything to ask about. It quietly crossed $185,000 that spring, built entirely from a decision that never once looked like anything was happening at all. 6 months after that afternoon, in that same parking lot, Ryan's truck gets repossessed. His income never actually dropped. He just kept adding payments against it faster than it could keep up, the way people do when the visible version of success is the only version anyone's tracking. Here's the part that should actually keep you up tonight. If Daniel changes absolutely nothing, same $770, same fund, same boring habit for another 18 years, that single decision alone becomes just over $1.1 million. Not his whole net worth, not counting raises, not counting anything else he saves, just the money that never went